This is twisted polygonal turning. A couple years ago, I did a video on regular polygonal turning, and there was something I couldn't tell you in that video. There was something I hated about that video, and that was that half of you didn't like or subscribe. So make sure in this video you hit that like and subscribe button. But for real, what I actually hated was this. Now this shape might look cool, but honestly, its geometry infuriates me. What I had to do to create this was basically plunge an X, wrap it out, reclock my spindle, and slowly keep plunging down in X while moving down in Z until I got this twisted spiral shape. And what I really wanted to do was just adapt the ratio of the spindles moving with each other as I progressed in Z to create one continuous spiral. But with the way the parameters of the machine work, I couldn't do that. Now, I didn't think I was gonna be able to do this until I discovered something in this machine by accident. And that thing was this. This is my polygonal tool. And the other day I was working in my machine and I realized when I turn this, I can actually see the axis change on the screen that's driving this. So that right there tells me I have a way to control this. And if I have a way to control this and a way to control my spindle, then we can write a macro to figure out our twisted polygonal turning. So without further ado, let's use parametric programming to create a twisted polygonal turning macro. Good gosh, it is not hard to see why I'm single. Anyways, so I drew it all out for you. Take a look. Okay, not really moving the way I want. All right, let's do it over here. So this might look like a lot, but do not panic, do not click off. This actually isn't really that bad. And the reason why I wanted to show you it this way is because a macro might be intimidating at first, but if you break it down step by step and just start with what you know, it's actually pretty easy. Well, what do we know? Well, we know we want to do polygonal turning, and the way that works is you're going to move your polygonal tool at a ratio to your main spindle. So we know we need a ratio, so let's just put a ratio down. Pound 600 will make our ratio. Just said ratio a lot of times, whatever. So we also know we're going to have a start point and an end point. So for 601 and 602, I'm going to put my Z start and I'm going to put my Z end position. Now next, we need a feed rate. So let's put 603 for our inches per revolution. And again, we're not doing anything with these yet. All we're putting down is simply the variables that we know are gonna have to be used to create the math to make this twisted polygonal turning macro. After that, we're gonna do our rotations per inch. So basically imagine if you took a hex bar and you twisted it, how many times would that twist per inch is this right here? So this is gonna be 50 thousandths of one rotation per inch is how much twist I'm gonna have in my polygon. After that, we're gonna have our RPM of our tool. So those right there are all the things that you need to create this macro. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a while statement and we're going to loop just one line of code. Okay, now you can see right here our CDR. That's the axis I showed you when I spun the polygonal tool. That's gonna move 360 degrees. And then we have H for our main spindle rotating. We have an F for our feed rate. And we also over here at the beginning have a W, this will be for our Z axis. Now this is going to be one incremental move that's gonna be looped over and over and over. Every single time it revolves, it's going to run this line of code. It's actually going to do it 33 times per second at 2000 RPM, which is crazy it can do it that fast, but yeah, here's how it works. So coming back over here, we know we're gonna do a while statement. So the way I did this is I just created a counter, a very simple counter, basic arithmetic, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So what I did is I started with a reset. So you'll notice right here, it says while 606, which right now is 0. I'm gonna write that down. Where did I put that marker? Why would I put the marker over there? What is wrong with me? Okay, so let's write this down. So we know 606 is 0, that's our reset, right? So this right here is gonna say while 606, which we know is a 0, is less than 607, do 1. So until 606 is either equal or greater than 607, it's gonna loop everything between end 1 and while. And you can see every time it runs, 606 is gonna equal itself plus 1. So that's just basic arithmetic. It's gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up until a certain number. But what is that number? Well, that's what I determined right here. So right here, 607, I actually took my end position minus my start position, which will get you 2.5, and then I divided that by pound 603, which is half a thousandths per revolution, which will get us 5,000. So that means 607 is actually going to be 5,000, which means this is going to do 5,000 revolutions of our polygonal tool before the macro is done. And you can actually watch this count on the control. It's crazy how fast this goes up. What else do we need to do? Well, we have a few things we have to figure out. Now W, how much it's gonna move every time, is actually pretty easy. That's just pound 603. That's our feed rate in inches per revolution. So that's how much it's gonna progress forward in Z. Very simple. The next one is CDR minus 360. That's just one revolution of our polygonal tool. That's not that complex. The next one's where we have to do some math though. The H value, how much is C gonna rotate? Now, we know with normal polygonal turning, the C axis will rotate 1/3 as much as the polygonal tool. We have 2 inserts, that'll create a hexagon. So we need to actually do that at a varying degree each time to create a spiral. So now we have to figure out the math for how I got that. So if we go over here to pound 608, you can see I took my rotations per inch, so over an inch how much the spline will rotate. I then multiplied it by pound 603, which is our inches per revolution, and then I times that by 360. That will be the incremental degree change per revolution. So then with that, all I had to do to get 609 is I took 360 and I divided it by 3, which is my ratio, which will give you 120 degrees. And then I added pound 608, which will be something like 0.01 or something really small. And then every revolution, instead of doing 120 degrees and making a perfect hex, it'll actually do 120.01 degrees. It'll slightly keep rotating more and more and more each revolution. And that's what the math is for pound 609. Now, after that, it's pretty simple. We just need our RPM. Now, these will rotate in degrees per minute. Any rotary axis on a lathe will rotate in degrees per minute. So when I say CDR minus 360, if I said F of 360, that would be 360 degrees per minute. That would be 1 RPM. So CDR 360 at F of 360 would be just like a clock. It would take 1 full minute to rotate. It'd be very boring to watch. We're not gonna do that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take pound 605, which is 2,000, and we're gonna multiply it by 360, which will give us 720,000 degrees per minute. It's kind of a big looking feed rate, but that is how that works. So that right there is gonna loop that. That math right there is all we needed to create our spiraled polygonal shape. And once that's done looping that, we'll then wrap it back in X, but that's in our main program. So that right there is how that works. I cannot believe I explained that first try. I seriously, like one take, I just did that. So yeah, one thing that I think is super crazy is that all these numbers, all these brackets, all these equations, right? When it comes down to it, that equates to this spiraled shape right here. It's actually just one line of code that is being repeated over and over and over in real time, really, really fast to create these different shapes. It's super cool, right? I can just change this right here from 0.05, which is this shape right here, to 0.15 and get this shape right here. The macros will do all the math for me and create these different shapes. And I think that's super cool. But what's even cooler is when you watch this in real time. So I'm actually gonna press start and we're gonna watch these macros run in real time. You'd be blown away at how fast this actually happens. So let's check that out. This is what this will look like in our machine right here, okay? Now our tool's gonna wrap it up and we're gonna start doing the polygonal turning. So it's gonna read those macros and then it's gonna hit this while statement. Now what's pretty cool is you can actually see the math broken out. You're not gonna see the pound variables when this is running, right? But what's even cooler is you can hit the offset button and actually see what's going on. So that right there is every single time that while statement is getting read. Remember, pound 606 is what it's looking for. It's saying, as long as 606 is less than 607, which is 5,000, it's gonna run this line of code over and over. Now, the reason why you're seeing 2 lines of code is actually because of the look ahead, which I also think is super cool. It's pretty cool, and this is another thing you can also see if you did this right, because if this keeps counting past 5,000, then your logic is wrong, and you're going to make an infinitely long part, and that's never great. Oh, look at that. Tornos wants you to like and subscribe. So hit that button, smash that button. Well, that is it for our video today, guys. Honestly, I have always found macros to be super cool. It is really up to you and your imagination what you can do and what you can create with them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace. Who says peace, dude? No, let's redo it. That's stupid. I'm not gonna say that. If you enjoyed this video, I don't know, I already asked you to hit like and subscribe. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. You made it to the end. So yeah, have a good day.